Now, my best theory is Megan, and I have a lot of things wrapped up into why.
I gotta hear this because I've never heard this one before.
Yeah, so going back, before I tell you my theory, just going back to Rocnation. Remember how I said that they're doing a lot of things to protect her? Because a lot of people think that Megan is signed to Rocnation as a record label, but that's not true. They manage her. So when you manage somebody, you're literally, it's like PR, you're managing their image. So if you, because mind you, she didn't really have a whole lot of money at this point. You know, she's still with the independent label. So they fronted her. You know, they invested, they put money into her because it's like they're going to get a return on their investment. You have like the biggest rising female rapper in the game.
Yeah, she had one of the quickest rises to
right, like she,
A-list status.
Yeah, very, like she just did a song to Beyonce. Like she's like, I'm not gonna shit on her in front. Like she was really doing her thing. Cause like I said, I was a Megan fan. So she's rising, she going to the top. But right when you spend money, you put money into her, she on TMZ, drunk, half naked, helicopters, guns drawn. That's not a good look. That also goes to my point of them hiding the fight. Because if you admit to the fight, you have to also admit to what you were fighting for. So now you have to say you're fighting your best friend in the street like dolls in Beverly Hills at 4 a.m. over dick. Why are you fighting over dick? Oh, because I backstabbed her like I did with the other 3 guys. And then it's going to come out that, oh, you slept with the baby the day before that you slept. You know, it's just all this stuff is just coming out. So I feel like they was trying to suppress those ends so it wouldn't come out. Because, like, if all those things come out, your brand is really tarnished at this point. You're not marketable. Nobody's going to want to, like, you're no longer a girl's girl. You can't preach that hot girl shit. You can't, like, you literally are known as a backstabber. You're drunk. You're a troublemaker. She already had a mug shot out because she abused her ex-boyfriend. So it's just like all.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
A lot of people don't, but you have to look for it. But it's online. You just look up her mug shot. She has an assault. She was charged with assault. So I just feel like they are protecting her image because it just makes the most sense for money wise. So it's like, I feel like they put a lot of money to make sure that Tory went down for this. He had to go down for this because if he didn't, everybody's going to call her a liar. So now we have drunk, violent, liar, backstabber, hoe. That's why they also didn't want to talk about her sex life.
I kind of feel like it wouldn't have did nothing to her celebrity that much though. 'Cause I mean, how many people we still look up to like, oh yeah, that we know they probably a piece of shit. Right?
Yeah, but to them, when you're thinking about where the money is, where you think the real money is when we're talking about marketing somebody.
With the children?
Well, no, more so kind of like in the white community.
Okay, yeah.
Think more commercial.
Right.
We're talking about movies, big brand deals, being brand ambassadors, things like that. So, in order to protect that, we have to make you a victim. We gotta say it happened like this. I don't think Megan knew what happened, so they're literally spoon feeding a story and they're playing cleanup because Megan even said it during the trial. After she got shot, she said, "Call my manager, he'll know what to do." So we're calling T. Ferris instead of calling
T. Ferris.
T. Ferris is
Paul Wall always right by him, I believe.
Yeah, he's he was the person that pretty much took Megan to Rocnation behind Carl's back. So she wanted to call him. So getting into my theory, that was just the back, behind, the backstory of why I really feel like it's Megan. Like she was my original theory, and this is what I think happened. So going back, they went back to Kylie's house, they got Tory, they're back in the car now. So they're arguing, then they pulled over, skirt. Now they're fighting. I think Kelsey is getting the best of Megan because Megan got that. I told you, she had that big golf ball knot.
Somebody cracked her in the head with that jump one time.
Hey. So I think as they're fighting, Megan grabs the gun out of her bag, which is in the front seat with her, which is green, which the gun was green. And Megan on the stand said she don't remember they were her bags or not. She said, I have a lot of bags. So not only are you not claiming the fight, you're not claiming your bags too.
EJ said he put the bags in the car on the trial.
Exactly, but he put them in the trunk, but she moved her bags to the front. So I think as Kelsey is getting the best of you, you pull, because you're drunk. Again, she's blackout drunk. So you pull the gun out and you just start firing it because you tripping. Now, Sean Kelly says that he thought that they all were jumping Megan. So I'm like, okay, from your balcony, you don't know what's going on. You probably do think they're jumping her. But me, just being my logical thinking self, I don't think they were jumping Megan. I think if Megan had the gun firing it, you're tripping. So they're all trying to get, like, they're literally trying to, like, stop you because you're firing the gun everywhere. You've injured your foot. We are trying to get your big 6'7" ass, drunk ass in the car. So wouldn't that make sense to the way that looks, that they're all like trying to get her in the car? And then he says when they finally was able to pick her up, he thought they were going to kill her and throw her in the river. I was like,
I mean, that's where his foreign shit came in.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what? So I'm like, okay, no, I think after she was injured, she crawled to the driveway like they said. They picked her up and put her in the car. So I think that Megan was the one that was firing the gun. Megan injured her foot on the street because she was fighting barefoot.
Wow.
I think her injuries look like a cut.
I was shot in both of my feet, and I had to get surgery to get the bullets taken out.
And she was up twerking, literally
we all remember that.
The next week she was in the club, she was on a boat. She took the boat video down, but we have it. Well, I have it. She was in the club, and another thing that just didn't make sense to me is Megan doubled down on how many feet did she say she was shot in?
Both of them, right?
Both of her feet, right? So she's in the club, but she has only 1 foot bandage. She only showed 1 foot on Instagram. What happened to the other foot, Megan? Did the wound fall off, or? Because the doctor specifically said he removed bullets out of both of her feet. But you only got 1 bandage. Everything is to that same foot. So I was just like, that doesn't make sense to me. She also said that she had to learn how to walk again. How did you have to learn how to walk again, but you're literally in the club and you're twerking on a boat? You have no crutches. I've seen people who get hurt for less and they're sent home with crutches. You don't get shot 5 times in your foot, and all they gave you was a Band-Aid. That's pretty much what she had, was an ace bandage on. Yeah. So I don't know. It just all makes sense to me that Megan was the cause of all of this. And Kelsey said it in her diss track. She said, "Truth be told, we're all here because of you." And then she said, "Look what dick is costing you." So to me, it just drove it home for me. I was like, yeah, I truly believe Megan was the fault. I believe when she met with the police 4 days after, they pretty much said, we know the gun is yours. We know that you fired it. Like, we have all this. We have witnesses. We have video. We have all these things. I'm thinking they're pretty much laying it out. So Rocnation, I feel like they made it go away. And it's like, all right, we have to figure out a way to put this on Tory. So then she comes out and names Tory, but only because he was talking about her. And that's why I feel like all this was literally a setup, because you had to figure out a way, how can I blame this on somebody else? I feel like had she just let it die out, nobody would have cared that you were on TMZ. It would have been in the blogs for a couple days, but like you said, I feel like it kind of would have went away. I feel like she made a bigger mess than what it had to be. And I just think she's probably never gonna have a day of peace. She said that she's healing, but I just feel like it's just something about that conscience. I just feel like it's probably just eating her alive.
Some people don't have a conscience.
All right, so I mean, I gave you my theories. I mean, ultimately, I believe in Tory's innocence, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan. Because again, I was a Megan fan. I literally had no dog in the fight. I knew who Tory was, but I never was like a Tory fan. This case has definitely opened me up to his music. Daystar was the first album that I actually listened to all the way through. I've heard some of his chick tapes and stuff, but
first album you listened to all the way through?
Yeah,
of his. Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't, I knew who he was, but so I'm not just, picking his side on some fan type of things. Like I wholeheartedly, when I believe in something, I stick to it. I've lost friends, I lost followers. Like people who I know in real life have legit blocked me, or they don't like me, or I'm a pick me, like all these different things that I've been called. But again, I've always agreed that Megan was the victim that night. She was injured. I just don't believe that it happened in the way that it was being told. And I don't believe that Tory, I think what Tory did wrong that night was being messy and really starting things between the girls. So whether it have been Kelsey or Megan, I definitely believe it was between them two. But yeah, so I mean, I hope for the best for him. He has a strong case for his appeal. That probably won't get heard till next year. So he's pretty much just, riding it out. So I'm still going to continue to follow the case. I appreciate you for having me and keeping up with it.
It's great to we love to have you.
Yeah, so I like to say I'm pretty much a Tory case connoisseur at this point. So anything you need to know about the case, I pretty much can talk on it. So, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. And anyone else who wants to keep up with me or the case or anything else that I have going on, you can follow me on Instagram at Teawithtia. My Facebook is Teawithtia. My Twitter is Real Teawithtia, and my TikTok is T.with.Tia. But if you go to my Instagram, all my posts have all of my social medias tagged at the top, so you really can find me anywhere. So yeah, thank you for having me. I really definitely enjoyed this conversation.
The pleasure was all ours, and I will say this. When we initially heard the story of Tory getting arrested with Meg having being treated for injuries, of course everybody jumped to the conclusion Tory shot Meg. It was a very unfortunate situation. Meg tell her story. It did sound weird, and it's been 2 years later, and it did nothing but get weirder.
Yeah.
I'm happy that she's okay. And if Tory did not do it, we definitely want justice for Tory. If he did do it, it's unfortunate, but I do think he did enough of a crime. I mean, he did enough of time served to me. He should be able to come home.
Yeah.
So, and that's a wrap. Slack time.
All right, so this is messages for the Uptown Allies and the Tea Party. It is slack time. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and don't forget to hit the notification bell.
#UPTAF. Let's get it.